1310 AM 103.3 107.9 KNOX FM, KNOXradio.com. There's an app for that. Welcome to a KNOX afternoon. In studio, John and Tim. Gentlemen, go ahead and introduce yourselves. Take a choose. You want to go first? And
my name is Tim Biosic. I'm the manager of Rydell Auto Body and Glass. I've been doing it for about 2.5 years.
All right.
I'm John Mosted. I've been working at Rydell for close to 3 years now, and now I am the glass tech.
Ooh, all right. So you get all the fun jobs, because I'm sure glass sometimes, it always amazes me, the windshield, how there never seems to be just one simple little chip, for example. Now, have they had technology to keep that spider web from spreading, or is that still one of those deals that's just kind of, a forever problem?
No, we do what we call novices, which is like a resin chip fill, which depending on the chip, it can make it look like it's gone.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
You got to get to it before it starts to spider, though. The second it starts to spider, the novice isn't going to do anything, but the novice will prevent it from spidering.
And I have had a windshield that had a chip and got to y'all before that, and it's invisible. Yeah. That's the beauty of the new technology. It used to be the old kind of super glue, basically, and there'd always be that little spot there. But the new tech is just incredible. So you know the drill, you know the routine. If you've got a question, 775-5559. We're talking auto body and glass in the house on a Rydell Car Talk Tuesday. These gentlemen can help you out. A texter says to 775-5559, weather-related, heading back from Devil's Lake with a semi, 45-mile-an-hour, visibility not good, and forming track ice. Yikes. So, yeah, so having a nice clean windshield on a day like today is important, is it not?
Very important.
Yeah. Left Winnipeg at 12:30, sitting in Grand Forks now. Road's pretty good, but a half a mile visibility. Okay. A text to 775-5559 on target. I had a windshield replaced about a month ago, and now it has cracked in the lower area by the windshield wiper blade. Is that something that could be covered under warranty?
It would greatly depend. We would have to take a look at it. I mean, there's a lot of things that go into a cracked windshield. If there's like an impact mark or something like that, it would typically not be covered under warranty because it's just environmental. But yeah, we'd have to take a look at it to know for sure if there's an impact mark or not.
And that's something y'all can generally determine.
Yeah, it's pretty easy. It's not you don't need to be Sherlock Holmes to figure it out.
I like that. 775-5559 texter queries, what brand of glass do you install? Is it a name brand, OEM, aftermarket? If aftermarket brand, what's the name?
Typically, we would install OEM, but in some cases, if the vehicle is too old, they're not necessarily making glass for that vehicle from OEM, so it's aftermarket.
And what kind of is the threshold in general terms? Do they produce, the manufacturer make OEM glass for just that year, for 2-3 years down the road? Is there a rule, or is it vary?
I think it varies from manufacturer. It just depends on when they want to stop, remaking parts. But we typically, like John said, always go with OEM, especially if you have cameras or sensors or stuff like that. It is very specific on what you need. However, it is also the customer's choice depending on how much they want to spend, if they want to do aftermarket or OE. But we do always recommend the OE replacement.
Okay. 775-5559. You're on Rydell Car Talk with Tim and John. Go ahead, please. Hello.
Must be me.
Yeah, that's you.
All right, the glass guy. He's going to love this story. So my buddy was going to the hospital. His girlfriend was driving, and his window, well, there was a lot of snow and ice on it, on the back window, of course. She didn't clean. Well, we're going to blame her because that's just what you do. They were driving, and they got right to the hospital, and the whole rear window, the back window, exploded like a shotgun hit it. Do you have any explanation for that?
Typically everything but your windshield, and I guess in some newer vehicles the front door glasses as well. But typically all the other glass is tempered glass, which will shatter on impact. And when we're working with it, we have to be.
There was no impact. There was just a car heating up, and they were just driving to the hospital, and they got right to like a half a block to the hospital, to the stop sign there, and he thought someone shot him with a shotgun into the window, and the whole window just exploded right out the back. Like, it was insane.
That's interesting. I mean, I know there's sometimes, especially if it's cold outside, right, and you got that rear defroster on, and the difference in temperature, and then also sometimes when you're taking a turn, right, because if you turn into Ultra or wherever you're turning into, if there's a slight bend in the road and that frame just turns just enough, it could shatter that back window. I mean, it's not common, but it can happen.
Oh yeah, it was crazy. I saw the pictures of it. He thought he got sniped by somebody or something.
Wow.
Like, the whole window just exploded.
Wow.
Interesting. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, glad everyone's okay.
All right,
though.
thanks for the call. No, that's I've never heard of that, but I mean, I know hitting a glass sometimes, even with not a whole lot of force, just I broke a window smashing a mosquito.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That could happen. Yeah.
That happened. Of course, it was fairly cold out, but a text to 775-5559. I'm still curious about the brand because there's like Pinkerton, St. Goblin, Skerut, Guardian, Foyoyo, XYG. So, but you're talking about OEM,
right? So if it is an aftermarket windshield, we source them from Dakota Land Glass or stuff like that. Like we don't particularly pick the exact aftermarket. It's whatever they have that's that fits that VIN number.
Okay.
So we don't specifically pick a brand for an aftermarket. It's whatever they have in stock that comes.
Okay. So obviously somebody's really interested in the different types of glasses. Text to 775-5559. I have been told I need my car calibrated if I get a new windshield. What does that mean, and what does it entail?
Your vehicle has a lot of safety features in a lot of these new vehicles, and once you replace the glass, you would have to calibrate the camera because the camera has been moved, or in a sense, it's not exactly where it was before, so you can't guarantee that it's going to work the same. Plus, when I'm necessarily replacing a windshield, I unplug that camera in most cases, so unplugging the camera, in a sense, resets it as well. So you got to calibrate it afterwards to make it work properly.
And the camera is physically built in. See, I'm kind of ignorant here. It's physically built into the glass, or it's above it, or where is it located?
It's attached to the glass,
right
near your sun or your rear view mirror.
Okay. Yeah. So it's not something that's obvious unless you know what you're looking at.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep. And I mean, there is like the repair procedure which calls for that, right? Like how John was saying, the second you touch any sort of safety feature, it has to be recalibrated.
Sure. Okay, well, that makes perfect sense. It's Tuesday. It's a Rydell Car Talk Tuesday. We've got John and Tim in the house. We're talking about auto body. Glass seems to be real popular. Let's see here. Text to 775-5559. My guess would be defrost malfunction, perhaps, for the window that shattered in the back.
Yeah, could be.
So,
very well could be, yeah.
And sometimes you just get a piece of glass that is, if it's not perfect, you can still have a defect for the how many tens of hundreds of millions or whatever they numbers of glass windshields, rear windows that they put together.
Yeah,
even if it's 1/100th of 1% failure rate, that's going to be you're just lucky enough to get. That's interesting though.
Yeah.
I know I've broken windshields, like say slapping it with really cold, or a friend of mine loading lumber into the back of the Suburban and just shoved a little too hard.
Oh yeah,
right through the windshield. 775-5559. A texter says, same thing happened to my truck. I had started the truck from the airplane when I landed, got out there after picking up my baggage, and my windshield had shattered. It was full of snow. Very warm inside the truck, though. Interesting.
That temperature disparity could definitely, if like you said, if the glass is just even a little bit flawed, that little flaw could definitely be exacerbated by that temperature change. So
yeah, and you think about it, you're going down the road, you're bouncing back and forth. I mean, everything is set in there just nice and tight, not to wiggle, but the thousands and thousands and millions of vibrations that occur
right
as you're driving a road, just it causes minor malfunction. So, but it's still, in the grand scheme of things, it's an extraordinarily rare event when that happens. Okay. 775-5559, a texter says, I had something similar happen to my car, and the windshield doctor said there was a slight sharp edge inside the frame where the window goes from the factory, and it just happened to cut through the glue and hit the glass, and it shattered. So,
Just, nothing's ever perfect. So, there's always imperfections, and sometimes they rear up at the least convenient times.
Mm-hmm. Is there ever really a convenient time for something like that?
Yeah.
It is a Rydell Car Talk Tuesday. 15 degrees outside the KNOX studios right now. Snow coming down. We're right kind of on the western edge of a broad area of snow that's coming down the valley. Visibility in open country, sometimes it kind of sucks. I think it was coming down the old Belmont Road here, briefly dropped off to just a few hundred feet at times with the drifting and these heavier snow showers. So if you're out and about, all the more reason to have your windows nice and clean and have everything set up, because how many times have we hopped into the car and we haven't cleaned the inside of our windshields for a while, and then as it starts to heat up, it just that and then the soil, and we have so much soil in the air around here.
Yeah. It'll definitely impede your visibility.
So what other common issues? I mean, we've been talking about glass quite a bit, but what's some of the other challenges that cold weather present to the frame, to the body, to the vehicle itself when that you experience?
I mean, it could be a number, especially with new vehicles nowadays. It greatly impacts the electronics, all those safety features. You'll see, like, sometimes a tire pressure monitoring system. If you have a new car, like, all the tires will have the correct pressure in there, but the warning light on your dash will come up saying that you don't. Mm-hmm. But when everything gets warmed up, it goes away. And so sometimes, while they're nice, these safety features are nice to have, you think back in the 80s and 90s when you didn't have anything, you didn't have to worry about any of that stuff. And really, the cold weather didn't really impact the cars. But now with all the electronics, they could definitely throw all those, all your niceties, the lane departures, all that kind of stuff will throw it off. Like you'll even see, like we're talking about the cameras in the windshield, where you'll throw a warning saying that the windshield isn't clear, so the camera's not working. So all those types of things could really impact a car during cold weather.
Mm-hmm. There's also like radars,
right? Yeah.
Located in your front bumper. If your front bumper gets too covered with all the road ice and snow, your cruise control might not work.
Yeah.
Okay, so it behooves you for a lot of different reasons to try to clear off your vehicle as much as you possibly can.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And I would also say, there's times where, you shouldn't rely solely on those things. You should always keep your wits about you when you're driving.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. I've made a couple of trips out to Williston recently, and, when I leave, I make sure my tire pressures are all up to snuff for the temperature. And, of course, it's got the little sensors, and I'm kind of a geek, so I've always got the tire pressure display up. And it is amazing how you can go from 32 pounds to almost 40 pounds of pressure as you go up the road, get the tires get warm. And that's all built into the system. Right. That's all normal. Mm-hmm. So sometimes looking at those things will kind of get you a little goofy. But when text to 775-5559, you need to help Chevy come up with a new design for their windshield wiper blades on the Chevy Colorado. The windshield wiper blades sit below the glass so the heat never hits them and everything gets all frozen up.
Yeah, I mean, it's I'd like to have a couple words with some of the engineers for all OEMs. If only they had a phone number we can call, I think it'd be make life a little bit easier. But sometimes we just got to deal with what they come out with, unfortunately.
Yep. Texter, you got to realize that a lot of times engineers are looking at something literally from an engineering standpoint on a drawing board and have never actually been out in the real world to get a chance to see how some of this stuff works. Yeah. So trust me, it's not malicious. That's just how the engineering brain works, because it works on blueprint. It's going to work in the real world until it doesn't. Rydell Car Talk Tuesday on this rather snowy day. So, on a day like today, when the weather is nasty, all the more important to make sure that your vehicle is up to snuff. So, let's see here. And yes, got a thumbs up from somebody that says you need help the Chevy come up with a new blade design on the Colorado. So apparently that's been a challenge. Yeah. So there you go. And that's too bad. I would imagine somewhere, somehow, there is a way to get word cross channels. It's not an easy thing to do. So there are ways. Feedback.
But everything takes time. And we could submit a a complaint about the windshield wipers on a 2026 Colorado, and they might not see it till they release the 2028, and by that point they're like, oh,
sure,
oh well,
yeah, and that's across the board,
right.
That's not any particular model. That's how engineering works.
Yeah.
So, okay, let's see here. We got John and Tim in the studio, Auto Body and Glass, and we've been talking about windshields a lot with the cold weather. What's some other stuff we should be talking about when the weather's – because we're going to see some big swings in temperatures over the next couple of days. We're going to go from below zero. We're talking about temperatures getting up into the 40s.
Yeah.
So what's another common problem people should be looking out for?
There's – just generalized, your general maintenance, keeping up with your maintenance is always good. Checking the tires, tires are a big thing. Making sure that, if you've got snow tires on or winter tires on, and the weather starts to get nice, that look at changing those back to all season or summer tires, stuff like that. But also, not even, not trying to change the subject, but also, keeping up with your insurance is another thing, right? Because, and also knowing what's on your insurance and what it covers and what it doesn't cover is a huge thing. Because sometimes people come in and the repair is going to take a long time and they need a loaner or a rental, but their insurance doesn't cover it. Just some things to keep in mind, right? As we as we go through this weather, just take a quick look at your policy and see what it covers and what it doesn't.
And that's a really excellent idea. Texture to 775-5559, aftermarket windshield wiper warmer. Okay, never heard of such a thing.
Yeah, I mean,
that's new to me.
Yeah,
if I'm being honest,
I would make sure you do your research before you put that on your car.
That'd be interesting, though. Yeah, because I could see really cold glass and starting to warm up a windshield wiper and have that really warm hit a really cold glass. That would be interesting.
Well, I know that I think I know specifically mid '80s cars had the windshield wiper fluid that came out of the windshield wipers themselves.
Right.
And that caused a lot of problems, with all those moving parts in there. So there's just some things when moving parts are always a can of worms. So
the more it moves, the higher the probability something's going to get gummed up.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So now we're talking change of seasons, too, here, because we're in the middle of March already, and the weather's going to start showing a lot of big variability in temperatures. We've talked about that. What should folks be thinking about as we get towards more consistent, warmer weather, which suddenly it's going to be summer? You know how it works around here.
Yeah. I mean, there's a lot of things. I mean, just like I said, just generalized maintenance on your vehicle is just good to keep up with in general. But, the other thing, too, is we go from winter weather to nice weather, and then the storm season comes. So, hail's next up on the radar, so again, something else to think about when you're looking at your policy to make sure it does cover hail, because there has been times where people come in, it doesn't necessarily cover hail, and it could be a shock for some.
Yeah. So talk to your insurance person to make sure that what you're doing or what you have covered is what you need. That's a good point because, hail is always hell on windshields.
Oh, yeah. Especially with some aluminum vehicles now. There's look like a.
Oh, it's bad.
Yeah.
Oh, sure. A text to 775-5559. A good recommendation for people is to have their climate controls set to defrost, so when they start their car in the morning, it starts to heat up the windshield instead of switching it to frost. Once you get that sudden jolt of heat, that can crack the windshield.
Sure. Yeah.
That makes sense.
Yeah, that's good advice too. Yeah.
Yeah. So it gradually warms it up. That's good point there, Texter. 77550, and a lot of them have the split now, the bi-level, where you can blow warm air up and blow warm air at the bottom. So that's kind of common in more of the vehicles. A texter says semis have heated headlights and heated wiper blades and heated mirrors. So, yeah.
I mean, put that on all cars.
Yeah, they should.
Yeah. There you go. Well, you never know. You think of where vehicles have gone from 20, 30 years ago to where they are today. Yeah, you don't know what's coming up. So what else would you like to talk about here in a couple of remaining minutes that we've got that you think the folks should know about? I mean, we've covered a lot of territory, obviously.
Yeah, I'll just put a plug in for the Rydell Auto Body and Glass. We have free estimates, right? So if you want to get your vehicle estimated or get some damage looked at and possibly repaired, come and see us and free estimates. Give us a call. We'll fit you in. Our number is 701-792-2846, and we're located at 1502 28th Avenue South. We're open from 7 a.m. to 6 p.m.
There you go. So, Let's see. A couple more texts right
There you
quick before I let you gentlemen get out of here. Regarding the wiper blades, I don't think they'll ever change because of their aerodynamics, gas mileage that they're trying to obtain. We have a 19 Yukon XL. The blades are always frozen. They don't get warmed up at all. Yet my 15 Ram has no problem because the blades are up on the windshield. So, engineering thing.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. The guy that invented the little black button to open the tailgate on the Silverado couldn't have graduated from college. Oh, yeah. Sometimes you got to wonder.
Yeah.
No, Texter, trust me, engineers don't think like the rest of us. They are so practical as to be kind of scary sometimes without actually thinking of the human practicality.
They're also interesting people to talk to if you haven't had a chance to talk to one of them.
Yeah.
And once you talk to them, you kind of understand why they do the things they do.
Well, gentlemen, thank you very much. John, Tim, thank you for being in the studio and taking the time. And obviously, when you hit the streets heading back into to town, it's still looking pretty gnarly out there. So drive safe.
All right.
Very good. Rydell Car Talk Tuesday. We're talking to auto body and glass in the house. So KNOX Afternoon with Mark Ewens will be coming up. We've got news as well right around the corner on this. What is it, the 17th? Oh, yeah, it's St. Patrick's Day.
St. Patrick's Day.
Yeah, it is. Either of you Irish or got Irish heritage? You kind of got that Irish vibe.
You know?
You really do.
I can understand that, yeah.
It just happened to happen like that. So.
Yeah.
All right. Okay. Gentlemen, travel safe.
All right. Thank you. You too.
Thanks for being here. Mark Ewens.